Oh my goodness, it's loud in my ears. I forgot to turn down my output there, or my monitoring. So anyway, hello everyone. Happy Thursday night. It's been a crazy day around here today. All right. Finally, I get to just play for a while. So, um all right. Tonight I thought we would I need to do terror rifts tonight. So think I am actually today. It is in Ash World somewhere. I haven't. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I'm losing my mind here. Okay, so let's find our terrorists this evening so that we can go do that and hopefully not get super frustrated. Which one do I want to do? I'll just do the Frozen Tundra one. And I can't remember the Frozen Tundra. Last time I think it was over here, but could be that it's somewhere else. Now the chat is not working. It is just spinning and spinning and spinning tonight. Let me see if we are streaming for sure. Because with my luck, yeah, see, we're live. It's okay. It's working. Even though the chat is spinning. Maybe I should close that and reopen it. Let's try that. That way I can see if anybody tries to chat. There it is. It's alive. We got it. Got chat. All right. Awesome. Now I gotta find the Terror Rift or it's too late. I need to get a bigger mouse pad. This one gets annoying sometimes. All right. There we are. It's not as close as it used to be last week. I haven't been in Terror Rifts in days. Like, life has just been too crazy. Had sick kids and the eclipse, and there was all kinds of activities for the eclipse, and then it was cloudy and we couldn't even see the eclipse. Well, we got like glimpses of it. We were like right in the path of totality, and it got really dark and all the streetlights turned on. However, it was so cloudy that we just got like tiny little glimpses of the eclipse. So that was kind of, terrible because it's not going to happen again for like 30 years here. And we didn't really get to see it that well. Just tiny glimpses through the clouds. Sometimes they clear out just enough where we could see it for a few seconds at a time. Like, we were using welding helmets because of all the clouds and all that. It made the solar eclipse glasses were so very dark that we couldn't see. So we had to wear the welding hood, and you can see it much better through the welding hood than through those dark glasses. And if you were used to watching my stuff before on here, I am doing the corpse explosion, which I should have done the whole time in here. Like, I don't know what my problem was before. Like, I really liked the other skills. And back when I used to use corpse explosion toward the beginning, it wasn't nearly as effective. Oh no. See, now I'm hitting all the wrong buttons here. No. Heal. What is wrong with you? Um, so anyway, I'm using corpse explosion now. Let's get this. Helps a lot in here. I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, should I keep doing this in Hell 5? Because it's really hard, but I don't know. Because if I do it in Hell 4, or not Hell, Inferno 5, if I am doing this in Inferno 4, won't all the equipment and anything I get out of here be kind of junky? Or will it be just my Paragon level as far as this particular situation? Because I don't want to play down because I'm getting so close to being able to unlock Inferno 6 and get Inferno 6 stuff. But these swarms, I'm telling you, the necromancers, we're just not meant for close quarters, like fast in your face swarm activity. Oh, aiming it still gonna take some work here. Oh my goodness, go. whirlwind. And then I get stuck on all of this. There's so much going on. I haven't even seen any of the shards come up. Oh yeah, there they are, the fragments. My little guy is so fast at gathering things in here. He just zips around and grabs it all. I don't even see that it's happening. So on here, like for my primary skill, the main skill, it sucks because Corpse Lance is good. The other one, like in and of itself, but its ultimate, the scythe, I hate that thing. Like having to run up on stuff and swinging that, and I didn't do good. I did some tests with that before, and it just seems to me that the Soulfire is the way to go. It just seems superior to me. And I can see the draw of Corpse Lance, but um, it's the ultimate skill that does it for me. If I could pair this ultimate skill with Corpse Lance, that would be great. It's really miserable that your ultimate skill depends on the primary, and it can't just be a totally different decision. That's really obnoxious because I would really prefer to use Corpse Lance as my primary weapon and then have, my ultimate remain these skulls that go everywhere instead of that scythe that you gotta just run around swinging. Which for me is really obnoxious. I prefer to be able to just run away. Oh, good grief. Yeah, that corpse explosion was a little more significant because we actually have some serious corpses over here to explode. I think the health potions seem to come around faster in here too. I wonder if they actually do or if it just seems that way. Like sometimes it takes a while to respond to my commands here. We're doing terrorists. Guys, I have not gotten a single terror essence. Um, Granted, I haven't been running a lot of terrorists. That's why tonight I was like, I've got to run some of these because they're really the swarming stuff is. Come on, move, go. Um, they get stuck. Then I forget to use my little dash thing over there to get out of it because it's the tab button on here and it's so annoying to use the tab button. So I don't even think I'm glitching or anything with the little spots when I'm trying to get out of there and I'm stuck. I think I'm just swarmed so bad that I'm not getting around it. Come on. Oh, I can go find the thing now. I need to get this fleeting shrine and get out of here. Oh, come on. It didn't let me have it. Sad. All right, let's go find one. I think I'm a little bit behind on here with my timing. I don't know. I can't tell if I have any lag tonight or not. We had a lot of internet trouble this week out here. We had like this really horrible storm. Like the poor neighbors, like their whole oh, that's right. I know what I was doing wrong. See, I haven't gotten to play on here Diablo since last week. Um and as you guys know that watch, I just had started playing it on PC to begin with, so now I've had a long break, and I was trying to run the whole time pressing my left mouse button, which was making me fight and run, and that doesn't work well. Um, and so, oh my goodness, this is ridiculous. It's hard to talk and fight huge forms like that simultaneously, like to walk and chew gum. No, but I don't know what I was saying. Okay, tab button. There we go. Trying to get my fingers back in the swing of things is a whole different. Oh, did I die? Of course I did. I always end up dying like right as I'm about to get it, and then watch, it'll be so far that by the time I run to it, the second I get to it, and the second I pick up my fragments, then it'll just be time for the rift to close. Sucks because like on the phone, I can get 2 or 3 spires before it closes, but for some reason on the PC, like I'm just too like the navigation's too weird still or something. I'm just not that great at it yet. And then I end up getting lucky if I even get one half the time. It's really frustrating. You better pick that up. Pick it up. Okay. Oh, now I got these guys chasing me. All of these guys. I wonder, like, for other people, when you guys are playing these with your other classes, I might try the new class when it comes out, of course, just to see what it's about and what kind of skills it has and what, if it's better for things like this, like dealing with the terrorists, or if it's something that's more ranged. There's all the different speculation, but honestly, I don't believe any of the speculation about what the new class is going to be until it comes out because for all I know, Blizzard could be putting like intentionally getting some people to like say that it's going to be something that it's not just so that people can be caught off guard and people will be surprised when they see what it actually is. These guys are going to try and steal all my fragments right before it closes. So that's what they do. Or like I'll get 200 like right next to this spire 2 seconds before it closes. I have like the worst luck in the world with these terrorists. Like I just need to go I'll just get the rewards for this one and then I am going to try the next one in Inferno 4 just because last week these seemed like they got easier in Inferno 5 and now they seem like they're just as hard as they were before. I don't know. Or maybe it was just I got better at the controls when I was playing it a lot more, and now I'm see 200. Right, it's time to close. All right. Well, boo. Okay. So now what do I need to do? I need to go run some Elder Rifts because I'm trying really hard to get Roiling Consequence before the better drop rates on the Elder Rifts go. So we'll go run some of those. Today was a big day for doctor, like working and then taking one kid to a dentist and the next kid to the doctor, like at urgent care. It was a disaster today. Well, the one kid had a follow-up dentist appointment, the one that broke all their teeth, crashed their bike and broke all their teeth like 2 Thursday nights ago. Um, that one had their follow-up dentist appointment, and that went well. And the dentist told me something I didn't know. Before, I thought if you broke out your front teeth or shattered out your front teeth like that, it was just going to be all bonding, or like you're going to have veneers or something. But the dentist told me that his plan is to use orthodontics, like, form of braces or that sort of thing, to pull the front teeth down. He said the front teeth are very long teeth and that you can use orthodontics to pull the front teeth down, and then he won't have to worry about bonding, breaking off or anything like that. He'll just have his natural front teeth, and they'll just shape the bottom where they're kind of jagged right now because of the break and everything. But I thought that was really interesting because I just had never heard of that before. Everybody that I know that got front teeth knocked out in childhood or like he did where they're snapped off like right at the gum line and they shattered and stuff like that. Um, I always thought that they were going to have to do something else, but apparently no. They just and do some orthodontics and make your natural front teeth longer like over time and come down more and more and then you just have your own natural front teeth back. So he better not break his teeth again after that, because I don't know how long those teeth are. I don't think they're going to be up for a double replacement length. So he's on his own if he breaks them after that. I don't know what to tell him. Bonding he'll have to have, I guess. Hopefully he'll never break his teeth again, because that was nuts. That was completely nuts. And then the other kiddo has some gnarly respiratory stuff that's gotten worse the past few days. And we went to urgent care after the um, the dentist, got him looked at, but I live in a rural area, so there's an urgent care that's not far from us, that's actually attached to my doctor's office itself. That's just this little, it's not some name brand chain, it's just run by the family doctors there. So that was nice because they're a lot faster and you don't have to wait forever. They get it done really fast and see the kid and stuff, but they don't really know what he has. They did a swab and they're going to send it off. Right now, it's, they're very paranoid because of that case of bird flu in the farmer here in Texas. He caught it from his cows, and it's the really, really, really bad strain of bird flu, like the one with the really high mortality rate that you definitely don't want um, breaking out. That's for sure. So now everybody who's got like the respiratory stuff, I think they're just, if it's weird respiratory stuff like what my uh, kiddo's dealing with, then they're swabbing them just to make sure. The doctor said he's already seeing a bunch of like people that don't have all the normal stuff. They've got like this really weird, like rare strain of pneumonia is popping up on the swabs, and he prescribed him a bunch of medicines, and he said what he prescribed him may change based on what the swab comes back as, like the antibiotics and things. My luck, he's got a whole brand new disease unknown to mankind, because that would be what my kids would do to me. Or he would be like, yeah, he does have that crazy flu, and now you guys are going to be quarantined. Oh, that would be our luck around here. And some pretty crazy. A few nights ago, we had this really insane storm, and it was about 10 o'clock at night. It figured because I was super tired, so I laid down super early, and right as I laid down, it started thundering and lightning and raining really hard, and then it started hailing. And hail is no joke out here because we are in the middle of huge wide open fields. It gets super windy. The neighbors, their window got broken out of their house, but it wasn't from the wind over there. It was their trampoline blew across their yard and smashed into their window and broke their window. Luckily, ours stayed put, but it was it was a crazy storm. All right, I got 3 crests left. I'll go ahead and do this Elder Rift. I'm sure I'm not going to get roiling consequence from this. I've used all my crests. I had a whole bunch saved up, and I've been using them and using them and using them and using them, just hoping, that I might be able to get it while we have this increased drop rate. But so far, no dice. I like it when it drops energy globes because I can like unleash so many of these reapers. It's funny. And I just have like this huge swarm of reapers, and I barely have to do anything. It's just reapers wrecking everything. I oh, and that boulder appeared for a split second. I thought that was I was like, oh, we already killed enough stuff in this rift. No, a weird boulder. All right, here we go. I'm navigating better, slowly but surely tonight. It's kind of like getting on a bicycle. You don't really forget. It just takes your fingers a little while to not feel shaky about it and to actually be nailing it. See, did you see I just ran right through the energy globe? Just right through it. I accidentally picked up 2 at once. I didn't mean to. 'Cause I want to unleash my swarm of reapers. I don't want to pick up the other one too quickly. One time, just for funsies, I left behind almost all my energy globes and then ran back through at the end and unleashed like as many reapers as I possibly could, or I wasn't distracted having to kill anything. I had like this huge swarm of them. It's kind of pointless, and doesn't really serve much of a purpose other than I did it because I could that day. That's the best kind, is when you just do it because you can. Can't pick it up. That's my only glitch on here that I have, is a lot of things where you have to hit E or for some reason, the things with the E command, it's 50-50 on whether or not it's going to work on the PC, which is weird because it's just that one command, anything with that E command. Maybe I should try and change it to a different letter and or like a number 7 or I don't know, something. Because it sucks that I can't get that stuff half the time. I don't know if it's a like an innate glitch where it's not going to matter what I choose as the E, if it'll help or not. Who knows? It works on all this kind of stuff usually, but it's like shrines and what else is it? There's a couple other things with the E command that don't want to work. Okay. So I did my Elder Rifts, what I could do with what I had. I need to do bounties. I also need at some point, I have a list of stuff here I'm looking at because I made a list of things that I needed on some of the general like trophies to clear those. Um, and stuff too, but a lot of those things are just things that I need to do on my own 'cause some of them are catching fish. So don't forget, if you need to know where any of the fish are, I have a shorts playlist and it has the name, the location, and the time frame in which you can find any fish in the game that you need to find. So that helps. I even referred to it earlier today to remember where some of the fish were that I needed to get to clear some of the trophy quest lines. And that's helpful for sure because some of those fish only appear in certain places at certain times. But I fish the frozen tundra all day, or like not all day, but in the morning time during the hours, all the hours that the crowgill fish was supposed to be there, and catch single crowgill the whole time. And I fish at both the Ashwold, it was Ashwold Cemetery, I think. Um, that I was in, but fished both spots there. It was Ashworld, yeah, trying to catch it and just got a lot of salmon, a lot of whitefish, but I even got a tuna. But I didn't need a tuna because I already had one for the trophies. And I've already, of course, got my whole fishing bestiary. I was a dork for the fishing. And plus, like while I work, I have a desk job now. So I'm doing busy work at my desk. So I can have my phone there fishing and just look down every, several minutes or so. And I'll be like, oh, my character's got a fish. And it's all the way in the gold and deep into the gold. So it increases my chance of getting better fish throughout the day. And so I just fish. Well, and that actually helps me because I am really, really bad about getting distracted when I'm trying to work and letting my phone distract me or like wondering something every few seconds, wondering something new, having to check it out. So I learned that if I put the fishing up on my phone and fish while I'm trying to get work done, that I'm more likely to get work done because my phone's doing something off to the side and I can put priority mode on if I really want to on the game, so then I don't get distracted by any notifications. But most of the time I don't do that because it'll be during the school day. It's during the summer, all my kids are here or something. It's different, but on school days I usually have to leave the notifications on. But it at least stops me from messing around on my phone because it's already fishing. So at least I'm leveling up my character and getting some things and maybe getting some good things. I've actually gotten some pretty good stuff from fishing as far as gear and things like that. And it's a good way just to paragon up while you're just otherwise would not have been playing or not able to play. So I did a lot of that. Got my whole bestiary filled out with the all the fish, and now I gotta do it all again because the trophies that they added to the game now have it. The sandstone golem. I wonder if that's one of the trophies. I just want to go fight the sandstone golem. When is he coming? Let's see. 2.5 minutes. All right, well, we'll kill our mages first here. Then we'll head over there. So good. And going from the terrorist to regular farming is kind of weird because the terrorist he gets formed like that, and it's not okay. I meant to explode those corpses, and I jumped my golem onto the skeletons instead. My muscle memory will eventually see. Now I can't get it. This one I can't get. Weird. I need to start paying attention to see if there's any rhyme or reason to which shrines I can and can't click, but I don't think there is because sometimes I can click the fleeting shrines. And that was the one that I couldn't click before. So I don't know. I'm thinking there's got to be more to it than that. What it is, I have no idea. I'm not that tech savvy to the point where I'm like programmer savvy, where I could begin to understand why it's only certain shrines and not others from a coding standpoint. That is not my forte at all. Like I really love like of course all the medical stuff and any like virology stuff, but I also really love true crime and mysteries and disappearances and all that stuff. I'm like huge into that stuff and I always have been since I was a little kid, watching unsolved mysteries and always just super interested. But for me it's always like it's not just a macabre fascination or, something like that. I feel like I learn how to be better protected or what not to do or learn from the mistakes that other people made um, in those situations. And then I can learn how to avoid ever being in those situations myself. Um, so that's definitely something that really intrigues me about those things. And especially if it's a mystery that a lot of people witness and it seems really legit, but they can't figure it out. I love that. Um, I'm totally into that. So I had been messing with the idea for a while that I wanted to make another YouTube channel too, where I did true crime storytelling. And I'm pretty good at full out like true crime storytelling, where I'm just looking at telling the story. And so I was like, I think I'll try and do that. So I spent time compiling a huge list of everything, like for the channel, like true crime, disappearance, mysteries, like all the different topics, getting that done, making a logo for the channel, doing all those things. And I went to record the first one the other day because I really want to have one up, by the end of the week, this week on Sunday. I really wanted to have it all edited and all the pictures added and all this because I have all the stuff to do all that now. So I was going to do it and I sat down, I recorded the first take and I had checked everything, but somehow, apparently, when I sat down in my chair, my microphone thing, it was like a first real try of doing anything lengthy with this one microphone that I had recently gotten. I got it through like Vine as a Vine reviewer. I didn't buy it. It was just something there. So I was like, okay, I'll try this one because it's, comes with the stand. It's, the kind of mic I need. No, my voice was just like the whole hour and a half I was talking, and I was just so eager to get that video done that I didn't do the stop and sound double check and make sure that it was all recording right. And oh, I should have. Um, and so I was like, okay, fine. So I was like, I'll just have to redo it. It'll give me a chance to tell the whole story again. I'll just do better because I'll have already practiced it so much and I'll have even less filler words and make sure it's all good. Mm-mm. So I did it again. Spent an hour and a half, like an hour, recording this thing. And then I go to look at it, and this time the sound is beautiful because I went ahead and just used this little headset that I have. I have another much better headset coming. Um, but it's not coming for like another till the end of this week or like beginning of next week. I don't know, the 14th to 16th. What is that? Like Monday, Tuesday, beginning of next week or something. So I have another headset coming that's a better one than this one. But this one is just for audio purposes, pretty much for me, just to hear a little bit. This is just a Plantronics one that's mostly for like work calls and things. It's not a gaming headset. So I've been having to make do with this one, and I have like a little microphone that I attach to it because the audio on it's terrible too. But the headset I ordered is supposed to be good for this one. But anyway, I guess what I was saying before I got distracted on that was with the story I tried to record. I tried to record it again, and this time the audio was beautiful. But for some reason, I had accidentally clicked a filter I didn't realize that I clicked. And at the time I was recording, everything looked fine, or I thought it looked fine. But when I went to actually edit the video, every time I'd move my hands or something like that, they were just these huge blurs, and it made the whole video like just had this like little bit of a blur to it that just made you kind of nauseous to sit there and watch it for any length of time. I was like, oh no, I accidentally clicked that stupid filter and it turned it on the whole time. So I just ended up with a filter on, and that was really frustrating because it was on all the footage, and I tried really hard in the editing software to get rid of it or fix it or something like that, but mm-mm, nope. Oh, what am I doing? It wasn't gonna fix it. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to re-record it again, from scratch. So that's really bites that I have to do it again. But at the same time, it's kind of one of those learning things where like I'm used to live streaming and recording with other things. So now that I have all this new equipment and there's a lot more to it and there's so much to learn and learning like Adobe Premiere Pro, that software is no joke. That stuff is not self-evident. It is not easy. It is not one of those things that you can just jump right on and be like, oh yeah, this makes perfect sense. You've got to learn all this kind of weirdness, um, and all of this terminology and things like that. So it is a lot. It is a lot to learn. I've been doing the best I could, so but it's live and learn with the recording because I was using a new camera for the first time, experimenting with new audio stuff I had never used before. I have another microphone I've had for a long time that I've actually never used that came with stuff to record like music, sing like it has a good mic to record like singing, and then it's got another one that's more intended for talking, but that is like years old. And so I don't know if that'll be better. I'm gonna have to practice with that some and mess with that. So, but I got that script written, with the true crime stuff, and I watched a couple other people who were really big name people in the true crime and everything else, and keep going through trying to figure. All right, well, I'll just do this. But I watched them tell the story and I was kind of disappointed because some of them were I was really liked them, and then the story I researched it so well like to write my script, and I wrote a really in-depth script to tell the story and everything else, and then listening to other people they had a bunch of stuff wrong, or it was people I really liked. I'm not going to call them out, but they're like the top of the top, and like they had details wrong. They're quoting people out of context in the story, like saying they said something at one point when they didn't say that till a whole different point. Like, and I knew that because I heard the survivors themselves talking about it and saying when they said those exact things. And, looked at all kinds of different historical transcripts and all the archived everything that I could find, all the information, and researched the heck out of it. And, I was just disappointed to hear a lot of the other ones, they just hadn't done their research and things were not good. For us, we're gonna probably get wrecked tonight in Shadow War. It's Thursday night. On Thursdays, we normally don't do good, and then Saturdays, because we usually lose on Thursdays, but we're strong enough to win on Saturdays against the people we get paired with when we lose on Thursdays. And then now, because the cycle restarted, um, now that the cycle has restarted, they paired us up against a much stronger clan here. And it's me and Tiny. She's one of my ride or dies. She's always at all the things. She's at Shadow Wars and Cursed Towers and everything. So I that's one of the good players on the team that's always there. And purposely, like, I'm recording tonight's live stream. I didn't record the live streams onto my computer before, but tonight I'm intentionally recording the live streams onto the computer because I want to do a video as far as just basics of Shadow War. So some of the littles in my clan are not playing because they're just afraid. They don't know what to do or they don't know how it goes. I can at least show them some of it. on there, and then I'll just voice over all of this. But it's basically, in case there's anybody who watches this who hasn't really played Shadow War before, you have 2 sentry towers, and then you have your crystal heart. So the enemies have to get through both, like destroy both the sentry towers first, and then they can destroy your crystal heart. When they destroy your sentry towers, they get a bunch of so it says both teams have the Sacred Guardian that spawns at regular intervals and moves toward the enemy team side of the map. The Sacred Guardians will attack the Sentry Towers and the Crystal Heart and other Sacred Guardians. So that's these guys. They just come out and start fighting. And it says when a Sacred Guardian is within range of a Sentry Tower or the Crystal Heart, they prioritize attacking the Sacred Guardian first. And then here it is when you destroy the Sentry Towers, you get these Champions marks, and these increase your damage and size for each one you get. So, you know, you lose a lot of those too when you're defeated. But if you pick those up, then you get stronger a lot faster and have a better chance of winning if you do that. So, little tips, the more you know when it comes to that. So I think we'll do Shadow War, and then we'll go do finish up the bounties, and then I'll check side quests to see if they've got this Season of Charity side quest or this Tawbry side quest that are listed in my general trophies that I need to clear. We'll see how that goes. It's funny too. As an Amazon Vine reviewer, I get a lot of stuff from them that's from other countries where the spell checking is pretty hilarious. So I realized I've been using these like gold eye patch things, and I had been using them for a month or so, like almost daily. And then I looked on the label again, and I realized where it said for fine lines, wrinkles, and all that. Instead of wrinkles, it was war wrinkles, WAR, war wrinkles. Like for my war wrinkles. Um, but I was like, fabulous. I've been putting something by my eyes every day, and even on the label, they can't even spell the words correctly. That's really inspires confidence to put that on my face right by my eyes. War wrinkles. That made me laugh. Because just the day before I got in this neon sign for one of my kids, and when it came, it had awesome spelled wrong. And it was like all in big, like fancy letters too on the paper that came in it. The sign was fine, but it was like just the paper that came in it had awesome spelled wrong. And I just kind of get a kick out of that where I'm like, wow, even the people that they're hiring to spell check. And that kind of reminds me of my dad worked for this company, and they had to write technical manuals for some of the equipment they distributed. And being based out of San Antonio at that time, there's people at the company my dad worked at that spoke Spanish. But the Spanish here in South Texas is very different from Spanish in, South American Spanish. And so in Brazil, they needed a manual for this one piece of equipment, and they needed it in Spanish. So one of the guys at my dad's company is like, sure, I can write the manual in Spanish. I can translate our manual in Spanish, or in English to Spanish for them, no problem. And so he did it, and they sent it down there, and they get a call from the guys down there, and they're like, this manual that you guys sent, this is not Spanish. This is Tex-Mex, because the people that live here, they speak a totally different dialect of Spanish than people in South America. I mean, there's a lot of similar words, but there's also a lot of differences. And I tried to run away. And one of the differences down there, like there's just a lot of words that don't translate. Um, I've heard people that I know here that are Spanish speakers, and they'll be trying to talk to someone that they know that's from South America, and the other person just constantly is using words that they're like, wait, what did you say? What did you say? Because they just can't. Ugh, this is pointless. These guys, there's way too many of them, and they're way too strong. But it's just totally different. It's hard for them. They can understand each other to an extent, but it's kind of like maybe if someone who speaks like English, but they're from South, like the South here, versus someone who speaks English from Scotland. Two totally different dialects of English that are going, it's going to be, they're going to have to stop each other sometimes and ask each other, what did you just say? What word did you just say? Or what does that mean? And those sorts of things. It'd be the same general deal. I was so bad, I just died a bunch. Those guys are really strong. Every time I face them, they just slap me around. But you get rewards for showing up. It was upsetting, like the first couple weeks of Shadow War when they didn't give you any rewards just for showing up. There was like no rewards in the mail, anything like that. I was just like, oh, if that's how Shadow War is going to be now, I don't even want to play Shadow War because we lose every Thursday night. What's the point in making sure I stay up and get on and do that? And for what? For nothing, for no rewards if we don't win. Um, and so when they added the rewards back, that was definitely a huge thing. All right, so I'm just gonna go check what the adventurer has, because if they've got the adventure seeker, see if they've got any of these quests that I would need to complete these trophies in the codex. I doubt they will, but we'll see. It doesn't tell me where these are going to be, but I have a feeling because one is Tawbry, that would be Shassar, and then the other one, Season of Charity, since it's about witches and things, I imagine that would be like Darkwood. Nope. See what they got. Nope. Yeah, I don't think any of these are going to be. Well, oh, yeah, it's not Tawbry, it's Tassie. Nope. No Season of Charity, and we're out of refreshes. Darn. But I'll go ahead and just hit accept on those anyway, just so I can have those for today. Because one of the trophies is like complete a certain amount of side quests, and I am like way off on that one. And then it's for my time, it's gonna be 10 o'clock game time. It is 7:43 game time, so 8 o'clock game time. We'll go try another Terror Rift, see how that goes. Not been going too well lately at all. Go get these bounties done, I suppose. I wonder like what it's like for people who always played this on PC. I saw the ad that someone put something earlier when I don't know if it was one of the gaming channels or if it was Diablo, like Immortal, like the developers. I think it was just a gaming channel or something, but they kind of threw back to what it used to look like to play the first Diablo game on PCs back then when you had your big tan box monitor that was like that beige color, huge plastic monstrosity that took up the whole desk and stuff. And it's crazy now that we just have these flat monitors, that things went from those huge boxes to flat so quickly. Like we just got like hit a point in technology development where everything just finally like snowballed into just amazing things that we can churn out so rapidly. There's so many minds out there working on it. It's one of the good things about like the Earth's population going up so much is there's a lot more brains working on things and a lot more competition for things. So people are really keep staying ahead of the game with all the technological advances. There's a lot more incentive to do so in today's world, I think. Be the first ones to do that is truly a insane accomplishment with this many brains on Earth. I'm sure for everyone, there probably is someone who's truly the smartest person on Earth. And there's probably some person none of us have ever heard of that's in some remote village somewhere figuring out all these ingenious ways to make life easier for the people there. Who knows? But I'm sure whoever it is not someone that you see talking about they're the smartest person alive. Whoever it really is, I bet they're like someone that we've never heard of. But most people aren't as quite as intelligent as they think they are. Even myself, I'm sure. Like you can get really huge degrees and just be very average intelligence. That's definitely for sure. And I think it messes with people's minds, like, and makes them believe those types of things. But the world will check you on that stuff because someone else will come along and be smarter. I have one kid who's always, just testing the limits and thinking he's so smart and so like, that there's no way I'm gonna know or things like that. And I've tried to tell him from the time he was really, really little that no matter how smart you think you are, there are people out there that are smarter than you, and they're going to put you in your place and check you. So don't get cocky about how smart you are because if you get cocky about how smart you are, that's how you get yourself in trouble in life is by forgetting that there's always someone who's going to be smarter. When it comes to criminal stuff, if you think you're going to be real mischievous and you're so smart that you're going to get away with it, maybe. I'm sure there are some serial killers and things like that out there. They're just super wicked smart and like criminal masterminds and they just never get caught, but that's unlikely because there's probably someone who works for a law enforcement agency somewhere who's a little smarter than you are and they'll catch you because that's just how life works. Always someone smarter. Always someone better at doing whatever it is you do. That, that's how I go into all this stuff. Like even the storytelling like channel that I'm gonna do. Like I have been working my butt off to learn the oral storytelling, and it's hard for me when I'm playing the game. Of course, I can't like gesture. I can't focus fully on what I'm saying. And I know sometimes I can be frustrating because I'll start to make a point and then move on to something else because I'll get so distracted by something in the game that I'll completely lose my train of thought. But when I actually am just sitting in front of a camera and I have a story memorized and I just have like a little kind of cheat sheet sort of script there that I can refer to, um, I actually told the story pretty well when I watched the footage back, despite the pain in the butt audio problems and then the blurriness. It was frustrating that the second time was so blurry because I could tell that I definitely did a good job telling the story that time. And I'm not being like egotistical or anything. I'm really working very hard and being extremely self critical doing it because if I do it, I want to do it right. Um, I want to make sure that the stories are like I do them justice and that people get the right facts and that I did the good research and that they're getting like bits of story that I haven't heard anybody else add in there but are true because I have, you know, just researched so deep that I get those little nuggets and then I just want to make sure that there's things that other people didn't say in theirs or that they had a little bit wrong or something like that that I get right. And just the art of storytelling in and of itself, just storytelling, those kinds of stories. But I can't tell those kinds of stories on here because I would like this channel to have the type of content where once I finally get to the point where I can get monetized on here, that I don't risk at all losing any monetization because of some crazy true crime story I told while I was gaming or something like. Um, but on the true crime channel, I know it's going to happen sometimes because some stories, just to do them justice and to convey the true, situation, you have to tell some of the details that probably lead to demonetization in some cases. It just is the way it is. But I try not to be like this. It's definitely not going to be like murder porn, where I'm giving these nasty, gory, awful, horrific like things. That's not my goal. Is to in vivid detail describe injuries that victims had or whatever. Like my goal is to tell the story, like the actual tale, and um, make it where people understand the situation and everything, all the factors that went into it. And, of course I'll have to tell details on things at times and stuff like that, but I don't want to get like too graphic in it where it's like people can, you know, extrapolate those kinds of details from the type of details I give without myself having to go too into like gross details. But like I said, you do have to on some of the stories, you just have to give some of the details because that's what makes the story so absolutely over the top insane. In other stories, the details that make it like that aren't explicit, you know. I don't want to just profit off other people's horrible things. Like I want it to be more like I do justice to the reality of what happened and so people know like how they can avoid that or some way that they can help protect themselves. So in every video, have it structured where like every video at the end, if you stick around to the end of the video and watch the whole thing, then we do some sort of like legit safety tip of some kind. It's based on whatever the topic of the video is. You know, if someone's lost in the woods, and of course it'll be some kind of safety thing that if only they had done this or if only this had happened, so make sure if you go out there that you do these things, not victim shaming, but learning, you know, learning so that the same thing doesn't happen to other people. Because that is for some people who have those things happen to them, that's the best thing that they can get out of it, you know, is that maybe other people like learn a thing or two. And because they learned a thing or two from the story of what happened to them, then other people don't end up in the same situation, you know the other people live or other people prevent the situation altogether because through the story they learn something they otherwise would not have known. Oh, come on. I need to farm some layers. Okay, let's try shooting and then going back and seeing if we can get it now. Yay. I don't know why. Sometimes shooting works or just running away and running back makes it where it works. I'm behind on my normal gems. I need to up my normal gem game. I need to up my gem game altogether. I really neglected my gems to an extent with this game. Um, I wasn't farming hidden layers because I had limited time. A lot was going on for a long time. And so when I got on, I would be like running my bounties and doing Shadow War, doing that sort of stuff. And then dungeons and bounties were kind of like my main focus, getting those kind of things accomplished and Elder Rifts, grinding challenge rifts, that sort of thing. And so my gems, even though the Elder Rift, of course, helps some, you're not getting too many normal gems in that. So, and me and my fiance would play like a lot, just the two of us in teams of two. And then they made the random dungeons, and that's changed the game. Those random dungeons, being able to jump in there for a random dungeon match, like that was a game changer right there. I'm so glad that they did that because um, it just made it where now if I'm by myself and I want to be in a party of four, I don't have to actually get into a party and, wait at the one thing only or be in the party finder sitting around forever. Like now it's just click random dungeon. Within seconds you're paired up with a party of four and you can actually get some normal gems when you go in there. But ah, um before it sucked when it wasn't like that. Gotta get in my head in the I'm in a lair. I'm not in an Elder Rift or something. I'm in a lair. Don't need to kill everything. I just need to run until I find, there we go, the events to get the gems and do the things to get the gems and get to the next level. All right, now let's find this guardian, kill them, and then send to the next level. The headphones that I ordered, they're pretty cool. They have like this little strip of lights like on the front facing side. I think that'll look pretty good on the webcam. I think I'm going to stick with my fire background because I think it's very fitting for Diablo. I played with some other backgrounds, but I honestly think the fire one is the best one. I think I should stick with my fiery background and then I'll have my new headset and that'll have its little lights and things like that on it. But that'll be fun. The mic, some people say the mic on it is a good mic, and some people say the mic on it is not a good mic to use by itself, but it's good enough where like if you're just gaming, that, everybody can understand you, all your teammates can, definitely understand what you're saying and that sort of thing, but it doesn't have like the best overall um, audio stuff. But other people say it does, so it's very confusing. So I'm interested to use it and find out how my voice sounds with that mic. See if it's a good one on there. I hope so. If not, I'll have to do what I'm doing and just clip the mic that I've got on here right now. Um, Clip on to that little headset piece when I use it. Because this one does okay if it's like this, but it's got to be like this. It's supposed to be one that goes like on your collar or something like that, but it's not, it doesn't sound great when you put it that far away from your mouth, even to put on your collar. So I've been dealing with some cheap audio stuff. Come on. I always forget when you click on the hidden layer to go down, it does take a minute. It's not that it's glitching or like holding me up or anything. I don't think I can identify anything. Oh, yeah, I can. I can identify a woman here. Sweet. My jaws are tired. I've been talking a lot today. I worked all day, and then my old coworker that used to be my supervisor, very sweet, grandmotherly, motherly, maternal type lady, just always with adorable cards and gift packages and always calling, checking on everyone. And she had retired. And since her retirement, it's just been like we have had the hardest time. Like when she calls me, I'm always in the middle of something and I miss her call. And then I'll be like, oh, I'll call you back. And something always happens later and I can't call her back. So today I was determined because she had tried to call me yesterday during the day and I missed the call. I didn't see it. So I told her I'd call her back today when I got home from running all the errands after work and stuff. And I managed to actually call her. But before that, I had just walked in the door from all the stuff. And then my mother-in-law, I talked to her for like an hour. She called and I talked to her for like an hour. And then I talked, like, as soon as I finished talking to her, I needed to call my former boss because I just felt so bad. I really, she had been trying so hard to get a hold of me and I hadn't talked to her in like weeks and things like that. And so I really wanted to call her because I didn't want her to feel like I was avoiding her calls now that she was gone or whatever, because it's completely not the case. I am not avoiding her calls at all. I could talk to her all day long. She's the sweetest person in the world, but I was determined to call her. So I had an hour-long call with my mother-in-law after working all day and going to the dentist and going to urgent care and going to pick up prescriptions and and then the hour-long call with one and then I had about a 45-minute long call with her that ended like 10 minutes before the stream. So I have been talking for many, 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 many hours. Oh, I'm doing it again. I'm treating it like an elder, but I have to kill these guys for the that's what I'm doing. See, I get to talking and then I just totally lose track of what I'm still working on aiming that corpse explosion. Keep forgetting. I need to see. I'm sure there's one that makes like a big circle instead of just the little triangle or something, like some piece of gear. Let's go find the Lair Guardian on here. Right now I have like a bunch of gear that does very specific stuff that I like that I don't want to mess with. I really like the whirlwind, like how it makes instead of my 4 little skeletons, I get one really big one, but I can command him to come in whirlwind because he does quite a bit of damage with the whirlwind. The golem does a lot of damage too. I like my golem. I like my skeletal mage that I have like special gear on, that makes all of them different. So my helmet, I think, uh, welcome and no, uh, what is it? I have to look at it. My helmet is what makes me have the one big whirlwind skeleton, I think. And then my knife is what gives me the molten golem that does the fire stuff and burns enemies and things like that. And then what is it that gives me my yeah, so this one is the one that makes my guy where he oh come on. There we go. I have to click him to make that stick so I can scroll it. So the skeletal captain, yeah, this is the one that makes it as the skeletal captain who can whirlwind and damage increase of him by 18. I don't think this really does much for me at this point because there's not, oh yeah, the corpse explosion damage radius. That's why I have that one there. That one's newer because I just started using the corpse damage or the corpse explosion. Then this is the skeletal mage gets increased by 1 charge, so I get 2 of those big reapers instead of just 1 of them, which is cool. I think it's this that does that, right? Yeah, this is what gives me my welcome end is the shield. It gives me the skeletal and changes the skeletal mage that stays in place and just shoots the lasers out of its hands, but it's stuck in place. Now it produces this Grim Reaper, and the Grim Reaper can run all around and go after everything. It's not stuck in place. So that's what that does. And then this makes my golem molten. And then my shield here, this Baleful Trinity, my soul fire now bounces to 1 additional target. But if it's hitting other targets, it's giving them 30% less damage. But overall soul fire damage increased by 9. Then my clot burst, that one makes my corpse explosion damage is increased. So I can upgrade things. Need to go upgrade then. All right, let's get out of here and go upgrade. I don't know why I ran all the way over here. I could have just used my little exit, especially since there's a bunch of trouble over there. Get out of here this way. But oh, let's pop right out right into a mix. Bad guys. Well, who's this? Okay. Go ahead and kill him just so that we can get that chest. And beguiling dust is always nice. And because we're on the PC, we're just gonna be right in its face while we're killing it this time. Obviously. That's what we do on the PC. We run right in everything's faces. There's a lot of lost pages that we're running across tonight. Okay. Yeah, I need to go. Oh, I missed the terrorist when it opened, but I gotta get there. There's one in here somewhere. I have 9 minutes. Maybe I can get a spire. Maybe I should change to Inferno 4 and maybe that'll be better. Let's try. I have to admit to myself that I need to take it down when I'm on the PC right now. Let's go in and see what we got. Oh, there's Fleeting Shrine. Let's try and get that. All right. Oh, let's kill these guys. We're trying. Oh yeah, I forgot. I don't have to be as freaked out, I don't think, because I'm in Inferno 4 now. This is not Inferno 5, this is Inferno 4. So we're probably going to have a lot better luck this time just because of the nature of being in Inferno 4 instead. This won't hurt as much. I thought it felt like last week they had like turned down the difficulty level of these, but now this week it feels like the difficulty level is back up. I don't know what's going on with that. But that's what it feels like. It sure feels that way. I don't know. It makes me feel like I'm kind of losing my mind, but I'm pretty certain that it's harder again this week, like it was the first week, but not last week was easier. So we'll see. Now we're gonna do this in Inferno 4, and we should have a much better outcome. So I say, anyway, we shall see about that. As I say that, it's like I'm getting swarmed by a million fast things that are gonna kill me. These guys are fast. Look how fast they are. Full swarm. Oh, I'm up against the wall. Move, move. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna get stuck because I can't. There's nothing I can do. Yeah, they just pinned me against the wall. That was super intelligent. See the way I just sort of ran right into the wall? Should not have done that. I'm not playing in library anymore. Those things are fast. That's what I learned. I don't want to do it in Chess RC because when I did it there, all the net guys got me. There's like 50 net guys just throwing nets like you couldn't move. You're just nets, 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 just from every direction. Every time you got out from under a net, there was already a net landing on you. So it was kind of ridiculous. Um, and in this one, it's these super fast ones that can really get you, like swarm you. Um, so gotta be careful there. Don't want to back myself into a corner again. Let's get out somewhere more in the open. We'll go here so we can run in circles around this if we need to and fight them off. Then we're right here where we need to be when we get enough fragments. My little guy can pick up all the fragments as we run in circles around and around. He's fast. That little gatherer guy, he is really quick. I know some people use the prowler. I use little gatherer familiar because he's just better, I think, for me. The prowler was all right, but I like the super fast gatherer because I got dependent on the little familiar to pick up my stuff for me. And then the prowler was just slower about it. It was slower picking up stuff, so I would still miss some stuff that I was in too much of a rush to go back for, things like that. And this guy just zips around so quickly. Um, this little guy right here, I don't even have to worry about it. Oh, I had enough to open it. Yay. Didn't even realize it. I'm just sitting there still fighting him. Yeah, it's definitely. Wait, don't die now. Good grief. There's barely anyone here. How lame would that be? Get myself killed just right at that part. That would be my luck though. The other day I was like about to beat the boss at one of the pillars here. Oh, the spires, and right as I was about to do the death blow on the boss, I had let my phone get really low. My phone died on me. And by the time I got my phone plugged in and got back in, there was like 2 seconds left and I couldn't get back in time. Where is he? Oh, there he is. I'll have to dance again with my mouse navigation. That's one thing I don't like about Corpse Explosion then is like, because before when I had the Wandering Skulls, anytime they were helpful. And with Corpse Explosion, there's got to be corpses. So I use the skill out of habit and there's nothing there to use. So nothing I ran right into it. Nothing happens. See, still don't think I got like a terror essence, but we have plenty of time to kill these things, I think, still to try and maybe do one more since we're in Inferno 4, maybe. Let's see how bad these guys are here. They always swarm so hard. Like I thought that the corpse explosion would be better for these swarms, and I don't know if it really is or not, because you end up with a lot of corpses to explode. I think it's better. I mean, I think it's better than the Wandering Skull as far as the amount of damage it does. It seems superior in the swarm situations. But then when you're one on one with big bosses, then it's not superior to the Wandering Skull because then there's just not corpses to explode and it's just not helpful. So I think that's kind of the way I like that Wandering Skull a lot because it goes through and does quite a bit of damage and just zips around, goes in circles through things. But Corpse Explosion does a lot of damage overall when you've got big swarms. I just got to get used to using it and that it's one of my regular skills. When the new class comes out, I'll definitely just give it a try, maybe. But I'm always scared to try new classes, like losing things or if I switch back. But I think before I haven't switched classes a lot. I was Demon Hunter first, and then I switched to Necromancer after a while, and I've just done this ever since. So I haven't tried a whole lot of the other classes just because they didn't appeal to me that much in the original Diablo. When I played the original Diablo for like years when I was younger, I was always the rogue in there. I didn't, that was just what I did, was that was the character I played, and I kind of stuck with that character on there, and this was kind of similar, like the Demon Hunter and then Necromancer as far as being ranged. I prefer ranged characters. I don't like the up in your face characters. You have to stand right there on top of everything. I know sometimes their damage is better and things like that. However, you also are more likely to die if you're like right up in the face of big bosses and things than if you're like a necromancer and you can dance around and let your little followers help with some of the stuff and be a little further back. I don't know. Well, we'll get some rewards in the mail here because we're not going to have time to get 10 more and then open it and beat the boss. Earlier we should have gotten. Oh, I better run. What am I thinking? I won't get any rewards in the mail if I just stand there and let them kill me now, will I? Sorry, it's late at night and it's been a very long day, and that'll be my excuse for making insane mistakes like that. I'm gonna sit there and let them kill me right at the last minute, lose all my fragments before I get like an email with rewards or anything. That'd be sad. I did that the other day, but I didn't see a mail that had rewards from the last one, right? We had fragments left over then too. I don't think I saw an email where I got rewards from that. We'll see. All right, there we go. We kept our fragments. We can at least get some rewards there for that. Let's see if we got them though, because did we get a mail earlier that had the fragments? Terror. Yeah, see, we only have one set of them. Earlier, we had fragments, right? When that rift closed, I can swear that we did. But I still don't have any terror essences. It's frustrating. It's really hard to get those. I think they just want you to buy them on the market or something. 'Cause it's so hard to find one. Like, and I don't know if anybody's really having a lot of luck getting those frequently, though. Still have time to get into Shadow Assembly. I think we do. I forgot about it, but that's easy XP. Oh, long, long day. Glad I'm finally getting to sit and play, though. That's nice. I adulted enough for today. Good grief. And I was excited today because I got a new base for my Roomba. And I have a really big house, and the whole house is hard floors. And that part's great because it keeps me from having like ruined carpet or anything with kids. And I have three big dogs and all kinds of stuff going on all the time in the house. And so having all hard floors is helpful, but man, in a house this big, keeping up the whole house and dealing with the floors with all this, and we have a doggy door, and the animals go outside and they roll in the dirt and they come inside, and oh, it's just a mess. So constantly trying to keep up with it. So my Roomba is my one of my favorite possessions that I own. Um, and I've sworn by that thing since I got it. That's one of the most favorite things that I've ever owned. It saves me so much trouble, but the base on it, one of the charging contact points got corroded somehow and it wasn't charging, but I bought the super like extended warranty sort of thing on it, so they were going to replace it, but it took a really long time to get everything worked out, and finally I got the new base in today and I charged it and let it do a couple rooms, but I had to stop it because I'm going to be live streaming, so I don't need the Roomba slamming into my office door being super loud out there because it's a big one. It's very loud. So I let the Roomba stop for the evening so I could live stream. And I was so tempted to cancel the live stream tonight and reschedule it for tomorrow just because I was like 1,000 miles an hour all day and hadn't had any time to relax. How do I bless people? See, I don't have the little hand that like people have requested. Okay. How do I know on the PC? Does it light up over their heads if they don't have it? No. I don't know what I'll see if they don't have it on the PC. Well, I'm trying to share it with others. I can't find anybody to share it with. Just hit E on top of everyone, but no, I think everyone pretty much just has it. Oh, is that someone who needs it right there? No? Then why does it show it like that if they already have it and everybody else shows like that and they're gold? Ugh, that doesn't make any sense at all. I've never been in like had the blessing in assembly on PC. Not quite sure what I was looking for there. And normally I'm used to it showing like when you have the blessing, you have like that set of hands right here that's gold and it lights up, but apparently on this, your mouse scrolling over people is the thing that lights them up. I don't know. It's different to get used to the PC stuff. I don't know if any of you guys got that crazy, if anybody on here is from Texas or if you guys are from other places and got the crazy storms or that sort of thing, but man, I was mentioning we got hail and things the other night, but the hail was all like nickel dime size. Like luckily it wasn't big enough to break the windows because the wind was blowing so crazy and the hail started hitting the house so hard on the whole back side of the house. And when I'd open the front door to look out the front side, it just looked like the rain was just like it was some kind of hurricane or something going on out there. And I was really hoping, I was kind of keeping an ear out for any tornado warnings or anything like that because it was sketchy when I was looking out there. Just the hail and the way the wind was, like where it was blowing the trampolines, like the neighbor's trampoline into their house and like breaking their windows and things like that. And so it always worries me that it's going to be a tornado because one time when I was like 18, I was living with some friends in just like this single wide trailer up in northern Arkansas in the mountains up there, the Ozarks. And it was a really tornado prone sort of area where there was like little tornadoes that would pop up. Typically, there's a lot of nothing. So they'd go through like areas of where there really wasn't much. But when I was 18, the area like we got hit a couple times in a row within like 1 month, that area got hit by tornadoes. And the first time I was at my friend's apartment, but the way the apartments were there, it was literally like it almost looked like someone took two single wide trailers, stacked them on top of each other and put plywood around the outside. And like each apartment was teeny inside and it was just like the most dilapidated tiny town apartment complex in the world. But one of my buddies had a apartment there, one of the people I've been friends with since I was a kid, and me and like 3 or 4 of my other childhood friends were all sitting in the living room and we had just finished watching this movie and it was on VHS, so that ages us a little bit. But they put it right as they put the movie into the tape rewinder and pushed the tape rewinder down, I started hearing this sound. And I don't know why I just thought it was the tape rewinder making that sound. And then a couple of them opened the front door and they walked out and we're on the second floor. So they're standing out on there and they're just like, "Do you remember the last time this happened, blah 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 blah." And I'm just sitting there talking to my other friend and I turn and look and I see like all the rain outside is completely sideways. And then I was like, "Wait, is that the tornado siren?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh my God." Like, And then, right as we said that, it was just like obvious the tornado was really, really close. Like the way the wind changed and everything, the pressure changed and the sound and all that. And we instantly were just like, oh, we got to get out of here. And there was nowhere really to go because we definitely couldn't be in that upstairs corner, little rickety apartment. If that tornado did hit right on us, that we would have definitely been in trouble. And the only place to go, there was no basement anywhere near. The closest like other friends' houses that had basements was too far away for us to get there fast enough. And so there was this little like built-in laundry room on the bottom level that was at least had like cinder block walls and not just like really thin walls like the rest of the places did. So we ran down there, and I wasn't that familiar with it because I had just moved back, so I didn't know the exactly where the door to that laundry room was, and I ran past it. And then I heard one of my friends yell my name, and I turned around and looked back, and one of my friends was down, like, just finishing, like, picking the lock with a screwdriver to open that because it was the middle of the night, so, of course, the laundry room isn't, like, unlocked. So he had, used a screwdriver to or something, I don't know, to pick the lock, and I turned around to run to go join them inside because everybody was going inside, and someone had yelled for me, realizing I ran right past it. And just turning around, I had like a big Adidas jacket, those big ones that are like the windbreaker material on the outside, and then like sweatpant material on the inside. And that thing was like a kite all of a sudden. And I was trying to like get back to the door of that laundry room, but it was like my poor feet were getting like caught, like sliding back against it because of that big jacket. It was just like I was fighting so hard trying to move forward, and they were able to reach out of there and grab a hold of my hands and like pull me. So I got in there, and then I was like, oh my God, there's a big plate glass window in here. Like, this is not good. We just ran to a place that has a giant plate glass window. So me and my other friend that were there, me and her were like, hey, you think we should just go ahead and each get in a dryer? Because at least then if this plate glass window shatters, we won't get so torn up by it. So we each just hopped in a dryer, and some of our other friends were like laughing at us. And I was like, hey, you know what? I'm getting in this dryer. And if this tornado hits us, I'm going to just, at least I've got some sort of like, the inside of the dryers, they have like those springs and stuff somewhat to like keep the barrel rolling side like the way it does. So I was like, hey, at least in here, I'll be safer definitely than out there with you guys standing there at that plate glass window. And then this family showed up with the little girl, and they opened the door and let them in. They lived in the trailer park that was behind the apartments, so they didn't have anywhere to go either, other than try and get in that cinder block laundry room because at least it was like cinder block and concrete on the walls. And then, that was the best anybody had at the moment. And that tornado luckily jumped right over us. It like lifted up and then set back down. And we happened to be like right in that spot where it was like lifting up. So I think when we were outside and sliding back and all that was going on, that was when the tornado was like jumping over the top of us. So we would have probably been too late to be in, a safe place had it actually gone straight through instead of like lifting up and then touching back down like tornadoes do. And the next time there was a tornado, we were just in a single wide trailer again, and this time we were far away from that Allen's thing, and it was late at night. Me and my roommates that lived there, we had gone somewhere else, and then when we got home, there had been people sitting on our front porch waiting to hang out with us, and we were all tired, and we did not want to hang out. And so my roommate's girlfriend was told them because they had walked out there, gotten dropped off, and they were like, "Oh, we don't have a ride home." She was like, "Well, I'll drive you guys home." So she left with our only vehicle to go drive them home. And it was during the time she was gone that that other tornado came. And I remember I was just like hugging a pillow and pacing back and forth across the living room, just listening to it get closer and closer and closer. Because tornadoes, if you've ever heard one, it sounds like a train sort of, or like a thunder, like that's just not stopping, like a really loud, deep thunder that's not stopping, or kind of like a big freight train. And so like we were just having to watch it, and like I could push open the front door and like look in the distance and see like the transformer flashes way far away, and just watching it get closer and closer and closer. And so my other roommate, whose mom lived like a mile away or so, he called his mom and told his mom, like, the tornado's coming right at us. And, his girlfriend had left with the car, and we didn't have any way to get out of there, and we didn't have anywhere to go because all around us was just forest. And it's not like it's a great idea to like run into the forest in a tornado, like with all the trees and branches and all that stuff. It's not the optimal place to be. So we just waited there, and his mom, God bless her, she like hauled butt over there, and she picked us up and put us in the little back of her little Suzuki like SUV. And that thing on the way back to her house, because she had a basement at her house like a mile away. So she got there, we jumped in, she took off, and the all over the bridge, like on the way to her house, the wind was like making that little car back and forth. Like after that, I've just not played around with tornadoes. Like those are two really close calls that scared the crap out of me. I hate having tornadoes doing that. And right now I live in a place that doesn't normally get tornadoes, but it's like perfect like setup where it definitely could. It's just lucky, everybody that does get the big tornadoes is always like, I never thought it would happen here. I won't be that person. I totally think it could happen here. I know it could happen here. It could easily happen here. It just hasn't. So when we have big storms like that where the wind gets going that bad and then all of a sudden you get that downpour of hail, it always worries me that a tornado is coming and it's just like wrapped in the rain and the hail and the dark. And so those peals of thunder, if it doesn't end in like 10 seconds and it's continuing to go, I start to get like that adrenaline rush in the pit of my stomach. Scary. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just like on autopilot. Oh my gosh, my cosmetics are different. Why didn't I realize my cosmetics had shifted? Look at the silliness that I'm. I guess that's not that's kind of cool. But and that one is kind of a cool one, even though I don't want it. I like this one, and not necessarily because this is cool, is because it really like this one goes with my whole, it goes with the whole vibe of this whole thing. Fiery wings, and these guys are fiery, and then it just looks cool together. I get asked, like my fiance asks me all the time, like, why don't you well, I accidentally stayed in here too long and got the blessing. Now I have to give it to people. Why don't you change your cosmetics? Why don't you change this looks cool or that looks cool? I'm just like, no, this is my favorite one. I don't know. Out of all of these, just is what it is. That's funny. Someone in there named Prednisone. All right. That all of them. Let's get out of here. What to do now? Let's see. Did I ever turn in my bounties? No. Should probably do that. Oh, I can't wait for that new headset to come in. This one, I have to wear this headset for work all day that I'm using right now temporarily. And it hurts my ears. It definitely is not like my headset that I'm waiting to come in. It's like memory foam ear stuff and has like the special band that keeps it from resting on the top of your head directly with the hard plastic, so it's all comfortable. This one's not comfortable. It makes my ear hurt after a while. I keep yawning. I've been up since like 6 o'clock this morning, and it is almost 11 o'clock, so I'm tired. Tomorrow, my kid has guilted me into taking him to the water park because we have season passes to the SeaWorld that's got like a water park attached to it, like part. It's like two parks in one. It's got Aquatica and SeaWorld, so he has guilted me into taking him by there tomorrow. And I have a bunch of stuff to do at home tomorrow, so I told him we can only go for like 2 hours because like a 40-minute drive there, 40-minute drive home. So I was like, I guess I'll take you, but when I say it's time to go in 2 hours, we're gonna go. We're not going to throw a fit and we're not going to be upset. We're not going to give mom a hard time and guilt trip me. We're leaving after 2 hours. That is it. I think he'll want to anyway because he keeps begging me and I keep trying to tell him it's still a little too chilly earlier in the day for the water park. And it's getting up into the 80s like during the hottest part of the day, but I don't think he realizes that what it feels like to be in a water park when it's even in the 80s and the wind is blowing. So when we get there tomorrow and it's in the 70s and he gets wet on the first thing, he may realize that mom maybe does have a brain and that it's cold to be wet. But we will see because he really wants to go, and I'm never going to be able to explain to that kid, with him believing me at all, that it's still a little chilly to be wet at the water park. But he's going to learn tomorrow. Yes, sir. But it might not be too bad, but I have a feeling it's not going to be that pleasant. It might surprise me, but generally, because we're so used to it being so hot here all the time, for us, like 80s is still like not that hot, you know? We're used to it being like 90s, 100s all the time for all our water activities. So we're spoiled, or it's real hot when we do water activities. But sometimes that's not cool because it being so hot down here, sometimes the pools get like really hot, even though they're not heated because it's just so hot outside and it's all nasty feeling. It's already so hot, and you jump in, the water is not even cool. It's just hot water. There's a good time, like good parts of the year where it's pretty balanced, and it's cool to go like tubing in the rivers here. Um, Let me do this. Tubing in the rivers and things in the summertime is really neat because the way our little creek rivers are here, they're not as crazy as rivers in other parts of the country. So they're like little creeks. I see someone's there watching on Twitch, so hello to whoever's watching on Twitch there. I'm trying to think of like topics to keep the conversation going here. I'm sure I have a lot that I could talk about. I just have to like ramble until like something really catches my memory of something that happened at one point in time. I don't know. I guess I could talk about I'm learning the Adobe Premiere Pro, and I mentioned that earlier that it's not like straightforward. So I've been watching a lot of videos trying to learn it. I'm learning slowly but surely, more and more every time I mess with it. I really want to. I'm recording this live stream tonight because we did Shadow War. I want to experiment some with that tomorrow because I screen recorded on my phone, registering for Shadow War and doing the initial, some of those things. Um, so I kind of want to try and make a video where I stitch together registering for Shadow War all the way through like playing it, even though we got beat really fast. I can at least give a little overview to people in my clan on there and explain the basics of that and get some good information together. I just, use my survivor Paragon tree because I knew that we were outmatched with the clan we were against and that it was just, I was going to die so easily that it was just going to be kind of a joke this Thursday when I was like, oh yeah, we got matched to the very tippity top. And it's not a good place for us to be matched at. As you saw, like we don't have enough active people right now that really show up for all the events and things to deal with getting matched with people where at least 16 or more of their players are able to be on that time on a Thursday. Not everybody is as lucky as I where they're off work on Thursdays, so a lot of people have to get up early in the morning. My fiance wakes up like 6 like not 6 a.m. He's gone. He's already almost at work by 6 a.m. He wakes up like at 5 a.m. Um, or like 4 something for work every day. So he's not up on a Thursday night at 9:30 at night our time for Shadow War. And I don't blame him at all. Like I wouldn't expect people to do that have jobs that they have to get up really early for. So I understand why a lot of players on my clan don't show up on Thursdays. Now on Saturdays, a lot of people still don't show up, and what I'm finding is A lot of the little players, they've never played Shadow War before. They don't understand Shadow War. They're scared of it. They think they're gonna like embarrass themselves or be a hindrance to the team by showing up, and that sort of thing. But I just want to kind of encourage them to come, because that way they at least get the rewards and grow a little faster. And then I also, I guess, need to do one about needing to beat Fang Wraith to get from 799 to 800, because there's someone on in my clan that they didn't know that. They were wondering like why they were stuck at 799 and couldn't get past there and all these problems. So um, I sent them a message telling them next time they see me on just to, message me and I'll be happy to carry them through that. Fang Wraith. Give them specific instructions to stay dead and let me revive them. Don't leave. Because that's one thing that's crazy. Like you'll carry, like when I carry someone through, I'll go to revive them at the end, and because they died, they just leave. And they're the ones who invited me because they needed my help, and there I beat the Hellicree boss, and they go before I can revive them, so they don't get they exit the match, so they don't get credit for it, and then they're stuck there forever, and they don't understand. And this game is not chat friendly when you're trying to type in the chat and stuff. It's just weird. Need to go salvage. My jaws are tired from talking. And a talking fool all day long. Nothing is better. Sad. But I'm up there now. I'm at 1272. So as always, when you get to the top, like near the top end of leveling, like going to the next difficulty, I've already got the Hellicree stuff done to move to Inferno 6. I could go to Inferno 6. I can play in Inferno 6, but I can't wear any of the equipment because all the equipment there starts at 1300 Paragon level, so it's kind of pointless. 20. Earlier it said I could upgrade the item. Why was it saying that? Okay, so how can I upgrade the 20 when I can't? Oh, it's because the different. Okay, duh. Once you're 20, we got different dust. Here we have this beguiling dust. Uh-huh. And that's these ones. And the 19 still take these ones and these ones. Got it. Now I see. Duh. See, I'm just tired. That's all. I'm not used to having to use those. I need to reforge. Oh, and try and get this one. There's a lot of mine. Like I didn't for the longest time because I was just racing through things and I wasn't pushing real hard. I wasn't realizing about the reforge, like needing to have all of these matching and stuff like that. And so I have them unmatching. Let's see what we got here. The family bonuses. Those are important. You had the family bonuses. All right, so let's see what we can do about some of these. A 19 reforged stones. Let's try. Sweet. Well, that worked out nicely, didn't it? Okay, let's see if we can get lucky on this one. No. Try again. Try again. Hopefully on one of these we'll get the little swirl that we need. Goodness. We got lucky with the first one. It's like, yeah, good luck. You're not going to get that one again. Sad. Come on. I just want the fourth vengeance piece to match. Oh my goodness. Like, that's a pain. Like, I just keep getting these over and over and over. Mm, come on. Let's root for it. I'm getting down on my reforged stones. Come on. That figures. I can just keep getting these over and over. Just need one more to get on this one to get the 4. Dang, if I was trying to get that one set, I would have been in luck tonight. I could have replaced all of them with these. If I had known it was going to go this way, I could have just replaced and got that whole set. Oh, sad. We didn't get the 4th vengeance set piece. Alright. Oh well, we tried. We got one of them set up. See, that one has, it's 3. This one's the only one that can get 4 right now because it's 21. So I was trying to get that 4th one to match the vengeance set. But alas, that wasn't in the cards for now. Okay. So now we haven't done any dungeons tonight. So we'll go purchase this Familiars contract here and maybe go do a few dungeon runs just to shake things up a bit. I have literally never in the whole game since this came out in my server, I have never seen a familiar in the familiar shop. Not a single time. Not one, not ever. I guess people are using the bots to buy them out like right away, and I've just never seen one there. So let's go ahead and summon this guy real quick, see if we get lucky. What? I don't have to do this on the game. I don't have to draw any sigils. Oh good, I'm glad I did it right. That's what I wanted. Ooh, nice. Hi, new friend. Look at you. Aren't you adorable? All right, he's all right. I'm happy with him. I'm glad I got a decent one. This one probably will be like a gray one. Look, he was good. Oh, his, at least he's a blue one. Let's, golly, there's a lot of stuff going on now in these red dots here. You wonder why there's always one on my warband? There's always one on my warband. No matter if I do every single last tiny thing, it's like a glitch that I have. And sometimes I do have things to do if I open it, but I can do all those things. And that red dot is just there. It just stays there to haunt me and it just never goes away, even if I do all the things. Wait, when I went to the shop, I did pick up my stuff already. Calm down. Getting ahead of myself. All right. So now let's see if we can take a look at the new little guy right here. I can only get him up to 24 for now. He's gonna be good. Once I get him like fully up to 30, I might plug him into a slot that one of my other ones is in right now. Because I'm trying, I've got like a couple of the aberrants here to convert later once I get a 3rd one. With these, if you convert these, this is Okay, so when people are reading, some people are confused on this when it says aberrant, ordinary and aberrant. This means aberrant, this little purple banner. See how the other ones don't have it and these guys do? So these guys are the ones that are likely when you convert them to turn into kind of the best quality ones. Also, if something's got over 150, like if you notice this guy's got like 163 here, that one's not likely. This one's likely to become like a really strong one. This one is too, and this one is not. But you can see like the ones that have like 168 and like 163 and things like that, 165. They're more likely to give me the specialty skills and to become legendary ones when converted. But these aberrant ones are really likely um, to become a legendary, and like it's got legendary skills. You're likely to get like one of these kind of special ones. Like I got the salvage one, even though I don't have any legendary ones yet. So I'm working on that. I didn't understand the familiars well at first, and I was kind of confused by them a little bit. And I had to do a lot of research and try and figure out exactly what they meant by, what designated the aberrant ones from the non ones. Like, oh, it's the little purple banner. Huh. And then figuring out I made a lot of melding mistakes. I think if I knew what I knew then, like, knew then what I knew now. Oh my gosh, I still messed up. I'm just tired. But anyway, I would not have melded so many of those. That was a bad mistake. All the melding I did because I didn't get any of the gold ones except for summoning and conversions, and it's just better to convert all around. All right, random dungeon time. Oh no, I'm still in Inferno 4. Cancel. I don't want to do this in Inferno 4. I forgot that I had changed it for the Terror Rift and I've been playing in Inferno 4. All right. Oopsie. All right, let's get it done. I have my flame background because, like I said, I think it's best suited for Diablo Immortal. I've got a really cool setup behind me if I didn't have a background at all, but I'm saving that setup that's back there. Oh, it kind of peeked through when I did that. For when I do my true crime stories and channel. But it's a pretty cool little setup back there. I have to try and re-record one of the episodes this weekend and then edit it. And I really want to try and get it up by Sunday, but we shall see. So I also need to edit and make the video for the channel about Shadow Wars, and that's going to be a big ordeal. So we'll just see what all I can get done this weekend and still spend time with my family and take people to theme parks and make dinners and clean the house and all those things. I tend to just do way too many things at once. Go in 1,000 directions at all times. I guess there aren't that many people up this time of night on a work night trying to run random dungeons. We don't have a lot of company. I think when I get to like 1290, I'll check it out and see if I can run the Inferno 6 ones with groups. But I don't want to be a hindrance, and I don't like it when I get into a dungeon and I'm just dying trying to get anywhere. That's a pain. Oh, there's an ancient guy back here. They call the orange guys as the ancient guys. It's just what I call them. Yeah. He did a weird howl. He was glitching. Did you see that? He like howled, but he was like sliding all weird while he was doing it. Come on, pick up the shoulders. Let's go. It's always good when you get some of that action, some legendary peril. I'm so glad I realized that I was in Inferno 4. I would have been so frustrated to get out and find that. I just like was picking up really junky stuff and getting Inferno 4 stuff. Although I think they changed that, right? So it's all good. I just wish that I had the 1300 combat rating already so I could pick up the Inferno 6 stuff and actually use it. I guess I could sometime soon start playing in that with everyone and just start hoarding um, Inferno 6 stuff in my store so that the second I move to Inferno 6, I've got like a bunch of stuff, but set pieces and things. But I'll probably just wait till I'm 1300 and can use it. Oh, I'm surprised I'm getting good enough at the navigation on the PC where I didn't manage to run myself right under that blade. Like if it was one of the first days when I started on here, I probably would have. Earlier, when I first started tonight, I completely spaced out about I need to navigate with like my right mouse button to tell it to go forward because um if you do it with the left one, it tries to shoot or like do your main sort of weapon the whole time you're moving, and that of course is not helpful. I was doing that like in the first terror rift that we went into. I think I was still using the left mouse button to navigate, forgetting that I needed to be using the right one if I just wanted to smoothly navigate without trying to shoot or anything like that. It always takes like an hour or so of playing on the PC before my fingers start to get used to everything being backwards on different hands and from the phone. It's a totally different animal. Oh, sweet. First dungeon. Actually got something. It's amazing. Actually pretty lucky though on the first one. Unless I was due for getting something. Is that my 7 of 7? Is that why I got something? Yeah, that was what it was. My 7 of 7. Of course, it all makes so much sense now how I get so very lucky to get my thing there. I already salvaged. Once I've done this, so many times, I'll start forgetting if I salvaged or not at the end, just doing it so out of habit. So let's identify real quick, and then we'll jump into the next dungeon. See if we got anything good. Apparently, I forgot a gem somewhere along the way, but yeah, no, that stuff was better. So let's just go into the next one, shall we? Next dungeon. It was so funny on the eclipse day. Like, we live rural. We didn't get to see the eclipse really, really well, just got glimpses of it through the clouds. We're in the path of totality. So, right before it got really dark, all the animals in the field across the street from our house, there's a mixture of animals in that field. A lot of people do that. If you don't live rural, it's because the predators, like the coyotes and things like that, they don't have a bunch of livestock guardian dogs across the street, but a lot of the houses on our street do. There's like a house down the road that has like those Great Pyrenees dogs, has about 20 of them as their livestock guardians, like just a huge amount. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, in this dungeon, I actually got to do stuff. They already kill him already? Okay. I was totally spacing out. I didn't even know where I was or what I was doing. I'm in a dungeon. I need to get my crap together. Telling the story. But anyway, I was watching the animals, like, because they're all over there, and there's like huge bulls. Like, there's this one gigantic bull who he is just the biggest one in that field. And then there's a bunch of smaller cows, there's sheep, there's goats, there's donkeys. The donkeys, I think that's why they don't have the livestock guardian dogs, because the donkeys are really good livestock guardians. They'll fight coyotes and kick them and do that stuff if, those kind of predators get into the field. And there's lots of packs of coyotes around here, and they can be pretty aggressive. They'll take down a lot of the sheep and stuff. People have trouble with coyotes a lot. So that big bull's in that field, and before it got dark from the eclipse, all the animals were just scattered across the whole thing. And when it got light again, where you could see the animals from the eclipse, every single one of them was in this circle around the big bull, like facing the big bull. And it was kind of comical, as if like it freaked out every animal in the field, and every animal in the field just went and gathered around him and was just like, help. But they looked funny. They looked like they were like worshiping him or something, the way they were all facing him in a perfect circle, just ringing him all the way around. So that was a random eclipse event around here with all the animals freaking out. They did not know what to think about it getting dark in the middle of the day unexpectedly that way. Those poor animals confused them so bad, because normally they have their routine every night. They know, like, because in the night they're normally not left out like that. They get, moved to barns, and they have places to go. Um, but in the middle of the eclipse, it threw them off because suddenly it got dark on them out of nowhere, and they hadn't had dinner yet, and it didn't like slowly get dark. And I think it just completely threw off their routine so bad they just all kind of thought it was the apocalypse. Like some humans, to be fair. Um, that was ridiculously fast. Somebody in here, it's like, who is it that's doing this? I bet it's you, isn't it? Is it you? Maybe, but oh, other people left too fast. Somebody was like crazy in here. Crazy whale, strong. I need to. Hungering moon. Need to activate these. Make sure I'm not forgetting to activate the stuff. All right. I heard people say like if you have mystery legendary items, but I don't even know if this is true or if it's just some like rumor. If you have like mystery set items and mystery legendary items, they say if you go down to Warband, you go into Purge the Depths, you just stand in Purge the Depths, then you open all of these while in Purge the Depths, um, and move these from being mystery items into unidentified items in here. And then you go to the blacksmith that is in the Warband area, that the odds are that whatever you get is going to be better, like more better things than normal when you have several of those. And they went down there and they did it, and out of like 6 things that they identified, 2 of them were better. So it does seem like above the average thing, but that could also have been total luck. I don't know. And I don't know now if I go do that and take all the time to do that, I just have 1 mystery item, if it will even be better. It probably won't be, especially if I go through all that trouble. So I'll wait. I'll save this in here. I'll bite. I'll save it in here, and I'll wait till I get like 4 mystery items. Then I'll try the Purge the Depths trick and see if it really works the way that people say that it does. I watched a guy do it. Seemed to kind of work for him, but like I said, I don't know. That could have been chance. It could have been a something else. I don't know. But it apparently only works if you have things like in chest or like these kind of things in that part of the inventory. You have to be in the Purge of the Depths when you open these, and they move into here. I don't know. It sounds kind of sketchy. But apparently a lot of people know this trick. If you know this trick, mention that you know this trick in the comments. If you've ever done this trick, does it really work? How many pieces end up better? These are all things I'd like to know from more people. Um, I don't want to register for us for any more towers because our clan is small and we have to fight hard just to get these ones that we have. So I think that risking the ones that we already have is not good because a lot of people use that to, when we have events where we need to get elite creatures, they'll use the towers to find all their elite creatures and stuff like that. So I don't think I want to use, take the chance that we lose that. I don't know what rank that clan is, but Immortal Perfection. Let's see if they're higher than us. We're down to 31 right now. Immortal Perfection. Oh, I need to actually look at I think this clan invited us to join, like some of the big ones, but I didn't want to leave all the littles, and a lot of people didn't want to leave our clan, so we didn't merge with them when the offer came up. Like, I don't regret it because, I mean, there's so many people that didn't want it in my clan. They like the name of the clan, they want to be in our clan, they like the low pressure. And if we had moved into, jumped all our bigs into like a top three, so this must be them, huh? No, this is Immortal for them. I'm looking for Immortal Perfection or something. It's at least 2 words, Immortal something. It's getting so late, my brain's like, I'm done working for the day. I'm not going to remember things for you anymore. Anyway, I haven't seen him. Maybe I skipped over him, but I did not see them. So we should be probably pretty good in our next battle. Immortal Perfection. Oh, that's right. It was Immortal Perfection. We should be fine on Saturday. We should definitely win. So that's good. At least that's some good news. We may have gotten wrecked tonight, but on Saturday. Okay, let's see. It's about 11 o'clock now. So I think I'm probably going to call it a night. It's been a long, long day, and I'm exhausted. My brain's tired, having a hard time playing and talking, and I just want to pass out and go to sleep. So I think I'm done for the night, and I'll go ahead and log off here. But it was good. Thank you so much on Twitch for coming and watching, and on YouTube, whoever was here. I didn't see any messages come up in chat today, so I'm hoping those who were watching didn't try and say anything and I missed it or anything like that. I don't think so. I just don't think anyone really chatted tonight. That's okay. Um, but just keep playing. I noticed the event center didn't have the change that it said it was going to have in the update on the news. It said on the news for the update. Blizzard was saying it was going to have this change in the look of event center, and I don't see that change yet. So I think that must be something that's still in progress potentially. I'm not sure why it didn't go live with this, but I think that was one of the only things that we talked about in the update video that didn't actually happen, that said it was going to happen, it didn't. So I think that's the only difference that we've got here on that from what I've seen from playing tonight and stuff like that. So anyway, thank you so much for coming to watch, and I'll see you next Thursday night at 9. I am trying my darndest to do it every Thursday night at 9, no matter what, no matter how busy and crazy things are. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you guys in the next video. I'll try and live stream again maybe this weekend if I can. We'll see. Bye, guys.